Okay. Oh no, I am way too big. Hold on. I have to shrink myself. Okay, there we go. So, the one thing I set up today is closed captions. So, we're gonna see how that goes for now. Don't know if it's working. I'll have to go. That seems to be working. Okay, so instead of just jumping into a game like I normally do, I thought maybe for the first 15 minutes I could just, I don't know, do something else while people streaming. So, let's see. There we go. It's working. I think I set this up properly. By the way, I have never used Reddit. Like I don't use it unless it's there's a post that answers a Google search. Otherwise, I made this account today. All right. Well, let's see. I've never really browsed Reddit, so I don't know what to do. Basically, this is gonna be 15 minutes of me trying to figure out Reddit like the old lady I am. I did follow a few Reddits, but other than that, I don't know what I'm doing. Browse popular posts? Okay. Or should we? No, I'm not interested in any of that. Never mind. Okay, let's. This is a classic. This is a classic Reddit people go to, don't they? Alright, hold on. Imagine the first one I open is very cursed. What is hot today? Hmm. What is this? An update. Hold on. Wait, where's the original post? Oh my god, thank you. Link to the original post in case you missed it. Damn, okay, this is old Reddit, okay. Am I the asshole for confirming my mother-in-law's suspicion that I didn't want her in the kitchen while I cooked? Apparently I'm still in her doghouse for this, so I wanted an outside opinion. My mother-in-law's not a bad person, but she can be very difficult. My wife Sarah has learned to process these things with grace, which I appreciate. I'm still learning, but I will get there, I hope. One of the ways she's difficult is that she has some manipulative tendencies. A very common tactic for her is to fake whine that she's not welcome here, I guess I'll go outside, with the obvious implication that we need to comfort her and tell her that she is welcome. I suspect she has some abandonment issues. I don't know that acronym. I am not online enough for that. Anyways. Again, my wife has learned to deal with this over her lifetime. It's just the way mom is, which is fine. I hate it and it is manipulative garbage, but I might do the same thing. My wife and I bought our first home last year, so we hosted Christmas. This is mother-in-law's first time being a guest instead of the host, so I knew we'd need to be patient with her. She's out of control of the situation. That's hard. Well, it was Christmas dinner cooking time. Our kitchen can be generously referred to as efficient, and I was cooking for 12 people while Sarah played host. My mother-in-law found every excuse to park herself in my way as I was trying to roast a goose and make 5 sides. I had to ask her several times to move just to find space to chop. Finally, this exchange, recalled as exactly as I can, occurred. Me. Hey mom, you can just go hang in the living room with everyone else. I got this. Her. Oh, I get it. I'm not welcome here. Me. Well, yeah, but I figured it would be rude to say it like that. I think she was mad I didn't play along, because the facade dropped instantly. She said fine, and went back to the other group. I didn't think much of it until she told Sarah this week that she was still mad at me. Am I the asshole? I don't know, man. I don't have experience with cooking for like a large groups of people, but you know what? Not even large groups of people. I'm a bit of a Gordon Ramsay myself. Back when I had cooking classes in high school, oh my lord. Okay, so how it worked for me anyway is that the classroom is divided into different stations, and each station has 4 people that basically normally split off into two pairs. And so I paired with a friend, so I was fine. But we got stuck with these two other people, and oh my god, they could not cook, period. They could not bake, they could not cook, and it was such a pain in the ass every time we had to work with them. Because otherwise, normally you can just work in your pairs, but sometimes you have to work as a whole group, and I hated that. They were always in the way, and they were like doing things that always upset me. So yes, I'm a little bit of a Gordon Ramsay myself. Okay, what's this update though? Okay, so this went really poorly, but somehow could have gone even worse. My mother-in-law is more of a piece of work than I thought. A couple days after I posted that, I showed my wife the comments, warts and all. To her credit, she was apologetic in that she knew her mom was in the wrong, but I'd gotten so used to the behavior that she was hesitant to correct it. I said that we probably needed to rip the band-aid off if her mom was going to come back next year, and she agreed, very reluctantly. I should note something about my wife's family. They don't really argue in the way that you or I understand it. They complain to each other's faces, loudly, and then no one changes their mind, and then it's buried until it flares up again. Oh my god. This man is describing my family. They'll just openly complain, and then they'll berate each other over like stuff that they should have done, and then nobody does anything in the end. And then it just happens over and over again, and it's so annoying to listen to. Anyways, this is something my wife and I have worked through very thoroughly over the course of many years, and it is probably why mother-in-law's marriage recently fell apart. Oh, I need to work on my facial tracking. I need to work on some of the settings, because every time I smile, I look so evil, and I don't like that. Hi, Vale. Rolling into the stream. Where was I? Oh, right. Okay. Anyway, so we get on a call with her and bring up her grievance with me as a silent speakerphone partner, and she's still apologetic about it. For reasons that I frankly do not understand at the time, she starts talking herself in wild circles about what she perceives happened, which was not particularly accurate, but I don't care much. I just want harmony next time she visits. And finally, my wife says something to the effect of, "Mum, what are you actually upset about?" And finally, we get to the actual crux. I'm really just disappointed that my son-in-law would speak to me like that. Mum, he had asked you to leave the kitchen several times and you wouldn't. I'm 70 years old and I know my way around the kitchen, and some respect for it would be nice. That's how it always is with the older generation, isn't it? Respect. So that's what it was. You were all right. It was a stupid fucking power play about her being a guest instead of in charge. To my wife's eternal credit, she used the phrasing I recommended. Mum, next time you're here, you need to respect the boundaries we set. Mother-in-law says fine and hangs up and ignores my wife for 3 weeks, but was all sunshine the next time they talked. Now I know that I'll need to meticulously set these boundaries with my words and then enforce these boundaries if she breaks them. But honestly, I don't know what I expect going forward. It's at least nice to know what the actual problem was. Thanks to all who helped me see what was really going on. Always with the respect. Anyways, Bayo, how are you? My grandma is very much like this in the way which she very much not demands, but like she very often feels disrespected by my interactions with her. First of all, there's like a language barrier I have with her, so I don't really I don't go out of my way to talk to her, but if she talks to me, I do respond. But like apparently she is not happy with that. I am supposed to greet her every day, ask her how she's doing, and be the perfect granddaughter. It's yeah. We're about to cook dinner, so it'll be an audio stream to you while you're on the kitchen. Oh, that's fine. You'll just be hearing me do Phoenix Wright in a bit. You try to be as disrespectful as much as you can. Oh my god, I could never. If it was like a family get together, I would be ripped to shreds. They would tear me apart for that. Hello, little girl. Is that what they say to you? I don't know. Sometimes I still get treated like a child at those family get-togethers. It's a bit weird, but it's whatever. All right, I'm gonna go look for one more, and then we will start Phoenix Wright. You say that to the elders? You know what? Maybe some of them are happy about that. I don't know. You also go up and like pinch their little cheeks. You've grown so much since I've last seen you. You look like you're doing well. All right. What is an interesting one? Excellent idea. You know, I've never really had yeah, no, my family wasn't big on like cheek pinching. Thank God for that. It was mostly just like, "Oh, you've grown so much and it's been so long since I've seen you." What is a Oh no. Wait. Is this is this a little controversial? What is this? Do they say that you're fat slash thin? Oof. Okay. I think yeah. You know what? Even now they still do. It's very strange and like I don't think they mean it as a rude thing, but it feels rude to me. It's particularly because I was very sensitive about my weight as a kid. It didn't help that the adults made fun of me then as well, but trying not to trauma dump. But yeah, happened a lot when I was a kid, and that made me self-conscious. And then not as often now, but like sometimes if someone hasn't seen me for a while, they'll be like, "Wow, look at you! You've gotten so thin. Did you lose some weight?" And I'll be like, "Ha ha ha! Thank you." And then I go leave and go into my room like the little hobbit I am. Although I guess on the one hand, it is kind of sad that they can't think of anything else to comment on, and that's what they decide to choose. All right, what is this one? This one's 15 hours ago, but it's almost got 6,000 likes. You think it's a cultural thing? Yeah, I think so too. And a generational thing? Yeah. All right, what is this? Am I the asshole for not wanting my fiance to make a birthday cake for his sister because it's my birthday too? I can already tell from the title what my opinion on this is, but you know what? Let's read it. My 36 fiance. Oh, my. Okay, the poster is 36. Fiance, 39. I'll call him Dave for this post. Can make really good, detailed cakes. It's not a business, but something he enjoys doing. We've been together for 3 years. Dave's sister died close to 10 years ago, before we met. Coincidentally, me and his sister have the same birthday. Every year, Dave makes an extravagant cake and sings happy birthday to his sister. I want to make it clear I don't have a problem with this if it was on any other day, the day before, the day after, whenever. But my family always made a big deal of birthdays, and he knows I enjoy celebrating and having my day. I know some people think you can be too old for birthdays, and that's their opinion, but not mine. So my birthday's next week. I asked Dave if we could do his sister's celebration on a different day. He said no. He's going to make the cake and do the routine he does every year. I said I get that, but this is my birthday, and I'm actually here right now, and how many more years he's going to continue doing this. He got mad at me and replied that I'm being disrespectful. At that point, I got a bit upset and told him he's not being fair to me. Me and Dave agreed on and get along well usually, and this just feels like it is a bit of a stupid thing to get upset about, but now it's blown up. Okay, you know what? With the context, that is a bit, Um, see, just because of who I am a person who does not make a big deal about my birthday. Like, I'm not bothered at all when it's celebrated. For me, I just care more so about the fact that it is celebrated. It can be the day before, the day after, whichever. But I do understand where the poster is coming from. I don't think I have enough brain cells to come to a conclusion. I had I had a big bowl of soup and noodles for dinner, and the food coma is wrecking my brain cells. They're like gone. They've evaporated from my brain. What do the comments say? Info. Okay, this is someone commenting. Info. What does he do to celebrate you? And I guess based on the replies, there's like, they edited their comment. Edit. Read your replies. You're the asshole, a giant asshole. He still celebrates you. Jesus fucking Christ, you're cruel. Oh my god. Really? But yeah, I don't know. The thing is, humans are also habitual creatures. Like, what is this, 10 years ago? So, like, for 10 years straight, this man has been baking a cake on his sister's birthday and, you know, celebrating it. And just, I don't know. Humans are creatures of habit. And, you know, I don't know. Sounds a little sus to me. Because apparently, from the replies, he still celebrates her birthday. I don't know. I cannot form an opinion. My brain is too tired. You know what? Okay, it's time for Phoenix Wright. All right, let's see. What is it? This one? There we go. And then I need to capture the window and then turn on the sound because I turned it off earlier because I didn't want to listen to Phoenix Wright as I was reading Reddit posts. Play. There we go. Okay. I don't think the game music is too loud, but let me know if I have to turn that down. Alright, we are continuing the last case. For anyone who was here the last time I streamed this, my internet died. Because occasionally they'll do maintenance in the area for the internet. And just in general, like the phone lines and all that. And maybe I should pay more attention to that because my internet cut off in the middle of streaming. It's fine, we'll just continue. It didn't cut off at too bad of a point. Alright, where am I? We're on here. Okay, so from what I remember, it cut off in the middle of me asking him about Cindy? Was that her name? No, I'm terrible with names. It's Celeste. Okay, we will ask him again about Celeste because that's where it cut off last time. This woman is another key to solving this case. Do you really think so? She was Adrian Andrews' mentor a long time ago. She was suddenly called away by a different show and became Juan Corda's manager. And then, a few months later, Celeste Impax died. But her death was ruled a suicide, right? Yes. But there is still one riddle we've yet to solve. A riddle? Her suicide note. It went missing. No one could find it. A suicide note that just vanished. Huh. Okay, and then we ask him about the missing suicide note. Miss Impax's death was most certainly a suicide. Of that there is no mistake. However, we could not find her suicide note. That's when the police began to suspect that someone had hidden it. The suicide note. But how do you know Miss Impax had even written such a note? There was no solid evidence, however. We did find traces of ink on her right index finger, which makes the likelihood of a suicide note very high. But who would hide such a thing? The police think it was Mr. Juan Corda himself. The victim. He was the one who found her body, which makes him the only person who had a chance to hide her suicide note. Mr. Corda hid his own manager's suicide note. But why? As long as her note is missing, any speculation beyond this is meaningless. For now, I think you should look this over. This is the suicide report. Part 1 anyway. Part 1? Okay, and I think that's where we left off. That's basically what was missed when my internet decided to die. It died for, I think, 10 minutes, and then it came back, and then it was like, ah, well, might as well just end it here. Okay, let us look at this. Wait, what does it say? Oh, it literally just says deceased. Celeste impacts found by Juan Corda. Is there a suicide note hidden? Do I present it to him, perhaps? Oh. I show it to him and he just says, I don't like to look through reports. I like suicide reports even less. Worst of all are the reports that have multiple parts like that one. That has 2. 2 parts? What you just handed me is the first part of the report. Here's the second part. So I had to show him the first part to get the second part. The second part of the report is about an attempted suicide. The attempter's name? It's Adrian Andrews.
Miss Andrews, what did she do?
She tried to kill herself? She doesn't seem like the kind of person to try to kill herself, though. You think she's a strong career woman? That's just what she wants you to think. Adrian Andrews. She has a certain secret she's always trying to hide.
A secret?
Her dependent nature, that's what she's really like on the inside. Oh? Miss Andrews. Dependent. Talk about the exact opposite of what that woman is. Oh, I guess, because Celeste was her mentor. So I guess the death of her mentor probably led to her attempting suicide. Okay, can I... Oh, dependent nature, there we go. What's this about Miss Andrews having a dependent nature? Adrian Andrews' attempt at suicide was a few days after the death of Celeste Impacts. And why did Adrian Andrews think about committing suicide? Because she had apparently lost her will to live. Lost her will? But why would she? Her pillar of strength, her mentor, Celeste Impacts, was gone forever. That's why. Why would that?
Is this what they call following someone to the grave?
After her attempted suicide, Adrian Andrews started attending counseling sessions. She is someone who needs a person in whom she can trust absolutely. And once she finds that person, she'll do anything she can to keep them near. Oh, okay. Without such an anchor in her life, her crippling anxiety stifles her ability to live. Oh, okay. This is interesting, the more you know. Huh. And that's the nature of her dependency on others. When Celeste Impact suddenly committed suicide, the world before her turned pitch dark. That's according to Adrian Andrews herself. Then, that means her super confident attitude. It's all a facade. She's only copying her mentor's behavior to hold herself together. Oh. You know, that reminds me of a book I read. There was, hold on. I moved my mic closer and I think I need to adjust my levels. Where is it? My output gain. Turn that down to like 3 decibels. Let's see that. Is that okay, we'll go up to 4. I am not good at audio. Ooh, not a 0. There we go. Okay, I think that should be good enough. Anyways. It reminds me of this book I read. And it was about these twins. And I hope no one's going to read this because I'm gonna basically spoil the whole, not the whole plot, but like the basic premise of the book. that you don't really find out until near the end. But there's these twins, and it's told in their point of view. So like some chapters will be one twin and some chapters will be the other twin. And what you don't find out until the very not I don't remember because it's been so long. I picked this book up from the library just randomly because I don't know. I thought the cover looked interesting, so I bought it and then I decided to read it. But somewhere around near the end, you learn that one of the twins actually died. And I don't remember when she died, but like she died at some point. I think it was in an accident. I don't fully remember. But basically, the other twin developed. I don't know if I would call it a split personality, but like she basically developed another personality that adopted her twin's behavior. So she would have some moments where she would think she was her sister. And you don't learn that until like near the end, which is very cool because when you read the book, you're led into thinking that they're both very much alive and that you're just learning from their two different perspectives. Because one of them is very much the honor student, the very, I guess, quote unquote good girl. And then the other is more of like a rebel, like she smokes and all that, skips classes, and then they're kind of opposites of each other, and then you learn that they're the same person. But yes, it's very interesting the different coping mechanisms humans develop in order to adapt to their environments. Dissociative identity disorder, once called multiple personality disorder. I do remember hearing about DID. I don't know if that's what it could be classified as in the book as to what she had. But I suppose so, yes. Because basically, because of some sort of trauma, she developed a different personality to essentially cope with the loss of her sister. Alright, back to the game. How terrible. Alright, attempted suicide report. Okay, I think that's all I have to say to Edgeworth. I don't think, yeah. Okay, where else can I go? Oh, maybe I can ask, I can go ask Adrian. Do you think murders with DID are not guilty? That's such an interesting question. I think there was a case like that, wasn't there? Well, what am I talking about? There must have been many cases like this. But it's interesting to think about because sure, I mean, right, what do you do? Because there's supposedly multiple people in this one body. And then first of all, how do you verify that, you know? Because I know you can get diagnosed for it, but it's fairly difficult from what I hear to get like an actual diagnosis for it. And then how do you... Yeah, it's such a strange thing. Like, do you commit the body for something one personality did, but that the others didn't do? Let's presume you believe them, they have DID. I don't know. I feel like there's like so many like variables that go into this, right? Because I'm not an expert on the topic, but like from what I hear, normally there's like one main personality who's like the host, so to speak, who like is mainly in control, and then other times you'll have like the other personalities or alters that like pop up. That's tough. I don't know. I mean, in terms of guilty and not guilty, I think they should still be found guilty. Hang them? Oh dear lord. I don't think they deserve a death sentence, but I do think they should be held accountable for their actions, even if it was like one personality out of multiple. That kind of reminds me of like those murder cases where the defense is like that the defendant was sleepwalking and therefore he could not have committed the crime because he was sleepwalking, even though he drove his car all the way to his in-laws and then shot them or whatever multiple times. But yeah, I think even if someone with multiple personalities were to commit a crime, I think they should still be held accountable for that. It's a murder, most death sentences are multiple murders. I guess that's depending on where you live. Over here in Canada, I don't... Yeah, no, we don't have death sentences here. But yeah, that's tough. What do you think? Do you think... Would you find them guilty? Life sentences seem cruel. Yeah. I think... I don't remember the exact number because it varies, I think, but like... Life sentences are like, what, around like 30 or 50 years? I don't remember, I think it varies. You think death sentence should be an option? I suppose it would be okay if the person is like willing to die rather than spend the rest of their days, so to speak, in jail or prison. But yes, if it's an option, I think I'm okay with that. I just wonder if that would... how that would... if that would provide more or less closure for somebody. Because, you know, sometimes... like, the victims of these murder cases, like their families and friends. I know it depends on the person, but I wonder if they would feel better if the murderer were to spend a life sentence in prison or receive the death sentence. That's an interesting thought. I wonder which would provide more closure. That's interesting to think about. I don't know. Because at the end of the day, the person who killed someone you love got caught, but then do you feel better if they spend the rest of their life in prison, or do you feel better if they were to just die? Theoretically, they end up dying anyway. It's just whether in like a while from now or like pretty close from now. But then even then, I think people who are sentenced to death, doesn't it take a while? Because there's like, I don't know, there's probably a whole bunch of people they have to get through before they get to that person. What do I think about blood money? Some countries allow, in lieu of death sentence, money can be paid. Blood money. So do you mean that instead of receiving the death sentence, like going through with that, you can pay for it instead? Like you can pay and then you don't have to die? Is that what blood money is? Oh, you pay the family if the family allows it. Oh, okay. You know, I've never heard of the term blood money in that context. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know how to feel. So, does this person still go to jail? They just don't die, right? Like, they don't get the death sentence? Because I can't imagine they get to just pay and walk away. Assuming that they still go to prison, I look up blood money on Wikipedia. Let me just do a quick Google. Blood money Wikipedia. Restitution. Blood money, also called blood wit, is money or some sort of compensation paid by an offender, usually a murderer, or their family group to the family or kin group of the victim. Okay, so particular examples and uses. Blood money is colloquially the reward for bringing a criminal to justice. A common meaning in other contexts is the money penalty paid by a murderer to the kinsfolk of the victim. These fines completely protect the offender, or the kinsfolk thereof, from the vengeance of the injured family. The system was common among Germanic peoples as part of the ancient Germanic law before the introduction of Christianity, and a scale of payments, graduated according to the heinousness of the crime, was fixed by laws, which further settled who could exact the blood money and who were entitled to share it. Homicide was not the only crime thus expiable. Blood money could be exacted for most crimes of violence. Some acts, such as killing someone in a church or while asleep, or within the precincts of the royal palace in corporal infamy, were boughtless. The death penalty was inflicted instead. Such a criminal was outlawed and could be killed on sight or thrown into a bog in case of rape, according to Tacitus. Okay, so there's a couple different countries listed here. Hmm. It doesn't mention whether what happens after. It seems like they get to just walk away. Yes. It seems like they get to just like it's like fine, like they don't even have to go to prison. That's what it seems like. Hmm. I don't know how to feel about that now. Because on the one hand, you basically have someone who just killed someone and then they just paid to be let go. And if that's the case, I am not okay with that. I don't know, because how do you know that this person will not do it again? On the Wikipedia page, there's an example for Japan. Because it lists a case. Such was the case with Lucy Blackman's father, who accepted 450,000. What is that? That looks like the pound symbol as blood money for the murder of his daughter. What is this? Oh, I am going to an article. Oh, it seems like they still could go to prison. It's just not, I don't know. I'm just reading the article for that one that the Wikipedia page linked for the Japan. What is this? This says Lucy Blackman's father has helped the Japanese man accused of killing her by taking blood money. The suspect's legal team said yesterday. Okay, so basically he accepted 450,000 pounds from a friend of the killer, and then makes it less likely he will be hanged or even receive a full life sentence, it was claimed. So it seems like they're still held accountable. It's just that it's not, the punishment is not as harsh. Hmm. In Islam law, the family can demand death. Oh. So basically just straight up refuse the money and demand death. Moral questions are always so tough. Having an opinion is so difficult. So blood money can buy a death pardon from the family. If it's for the sole purpose of being pardoned from death and the family, I mean, I think I'm okay with that. If it's for the purpose of like evading the death penalty, fine. But if yeah, I don't think, it doesn't seem like they just get to completely walk away. It seems like they're still sentenced to something. But yes, I think I'm okay with blood money if it's for the purpose of not being hanged or not dying. Because I would like to believe that you don't get to just pay people and then get away scot-free with murder, but then again, that's probably a thing in this world. I don't leave my house much, so I am not the right person to ask. You know, back in school, they told me to read the newspaper, but then I didn't. That was actually a thing. Like, I think in social studies, it wasn't a thing because of the course, it was because of the one teacher I had, but like, he made it like you had to read the newspaper because every morning he would create a discussion, and if you didn't read the newspaper, you were pretty much fucked. You don't need to read newspaper anymore. There's YouTube. That's true. You're right. There's lots of YouTube videos. Should probably put one on sometime in the background. Alright, back to the game. Where hopefully people don't die after we sentence them to being guilty. Alright, so we're now in the hotel room because we're looking for Miss Andrews. Alright.
Oh, Miss Andrews is here. But it looks like she's talking with someone.
That's Franziska von Karma.
Miss von Karma?
What are you doing here? Well, you see, I'm his lawyer, so... You've got some nerve following me around. Following you?
That's you, Miss von Karma. You're the one doing the following.
Pearls?
You're always following after that Mr. Detective with the little beard.
Me? Following after Scruffy? Don't make me laugh. Let me show you something interesting, little girl.
What is that?
An electromagnetic receiver. I planted a tracking device on that detective. And with this, I know that fool's every move. Oh, poor Gumshoe. So that noise we heard was that receiver. Oh, that's why Gumshoe says that whenever he hears that noise, Franziska is always close by. I feel really sorry for poor Detective Gumshoe now. Now then, Let's stop wasting time. Adrian Andrews?
Yes.
Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood? Alright. God, I don't remember her voice anymore. What were those two talking about?
Miss Andrews, she seems a little dazed, doesn't she?
What can we ask her about? Oh, motive for murder. Do we have enough to ask her about? Let's save here, and then I will attempt to unlock her things. I think she had 4, but I think I have enough. Okay. She had 4 locks, I believe. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Motive for murder. Why was Juan Corda murdered? If you ask me, I think you know the reason he was killed. Why are you hiding things? Don't you realize you're putting Mr. Ungard's life in danger by your actions? Why do you ask questions for which I have no answers? The truth is, I was not that close to Mr. Corda. You're not that close. That's right. I've never been good at being intimate with another person. You're not good at being intimate with another person. Somehow, I highly doubt that. Okay, I'm assuming I have to present Celeste. I'm very bad at connecting with people. They're so depressing for the most part. But I especially dislike feeble-minded individuals. Yes, well, that's why I don't think I could ever be intimate with you. What? So, I guess she's saying I'm both depressing and stupid. But I'm certain you're very close with the victim. Say that all you like, but you still don't have any proof. Oh, I was supposed to show her suicide. Well, attempted suicide. Alright. Okay, hold on. Let me go back. No! The buttons, they confuse me. Okay, I pressed back instead of switching to evidence. Something I do way too often. More than I would like to admit. But that's okay. Alright, we're just gonna have to skim through this. Okay, where is it? Part 2. There we go. Should be this. If it's not this, I don't know. What? She's giving me the same response. What? This is a report that literally says you tried to end your life because of another person. Okay, well, what? What, this gossip article? Like, what am I? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna have to Google this. I cannot believe this. What is this? This is justice for all. I could have sworn that would have been the right answer, but it seems like it's not. And so now I don't know what it would be. I haven't reached the trial yet. Investigation. Oh my god. Okay. It's supposed to be the magazine. Bruh. Okay. Fine. 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 Be like that. Alright. Magazine clipping. You and Mr. Corda had an intimate relationship, did you not? A silly third-rate tabloid article. If you even had half your wits about you, you wouldn't believe such rubbish. Well, it seems quite a few people have already bought into this story. As to be expected in a world filled with crooks and liars. Note to self, stay on her good side. In any case, I despise interpersonal relationships like that. I see. However, what if there was a need for you to get close to someone? Me? Need to get close to Mr. Corda, as if there was ever such a need. Didn't you get close to Mr. Corda for this person's sake? Do I have to show this report? Well, no, if it was for this person's sake, then I have to show the person, so let's show Celeste. Celeste Impax, your mentor. How do you know about Celeste? Miss Impax. She committed suicide, didn't she? But it looks like no one knows why. Right before her death, she was Juan Corrida's manager. So I believe you got close to Mr. Corrida so you could find out more about her suicide. You have a great imagination. You may have a future yet as a slimy muckracker for a putrid third-rate tabloid. Miss Andrews? There was no mystery surrounding her death. None. It would be pointless for me to force myself into a relationship for nothing. Is that really true? Is there really no mystery at all? I don't believe you're completely at ease with the way her suicide was resolved. Okay, and then this is where I present her attempt. What? It's not this? Get a hold of yourself. Huh? If you want advice on doing yourself in, I suggest asking someone like the police. I'm gonna lose all my health, oh dear lord. Which translates to, go take a long walk off a short pier. There's no mystery surrounding her death. I guess I have to present the first part, right? Miss Impax's suicide note was never found, was it? It looks like the police were under the suspicion that someone had hidden it. Like maybe the person who discovered her body, Mr. Corrida. Juan. And Miss Andrews, I believe you thought the same thing. That is why you became intimate with Mr. Corrida. I've sat by quietly and listened to your insulting ramblings long enough. It's true that Celeste was my mentor, however, allow me to say this again. It had nothing to do with me. I didn't even know that her suicide note was never found. I'm a person who doesn't care about what goes on in the lives of others. That's the impression you like to give, however. I don't think that's who you really are. What? I have evidence that says otherwise. This is proof that Celeste Impax was someone very special to you. And then I do part 2. Miss Andrews, you nearly went through with it too, didn't you? Went through with what? Ending your life. Miss Andrews, you look and act like a very strong woman who has it all together. You don't ask for anyone's help, relying only on yourself. Yes, I've been very independent ever since I can remember. However, that is all just a lie, a facade. You've always searched out people on whom you can depend on. That's... You were dependent on Miss Impax, weren't you? Which is why, when she passed away, you lost everything you had. Stop! When Celeste passed away so suddenly like that, I died a death of my own, but no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't stop thinking about what had become of her note. You must have heard about the police report. The one that said the police suspected Mr. Corrida of hiding Miss Impax's note. You heard about it and thought to recover it from him by getting close, am I right? If that's the case, then everything changes. What do you mean? What topic did we start this conversation on again? It was, why was the victim killed? Exactly. Somehow, Miss Andrews, it seems that you have become the one with the reason to want Mr. Corrida dead. Me? Miss Impax was everything to you. And then she died. And you would do anything to find out why she killed herself. Even commit murder. Murder. Woohoo, we did it, and I have like only a quarter of my health left. Oh, thank God I healed. Alright, motive for murder. It's true. I'm a woman who can only live in insecurity. I'm physically small and I don't really have a lot of self-confidence. Oh damn, even though everyone is thirsting for you. You know what? That's fine. I pushed against all that though. I've tried to live strongly. I never wanted anyone to find out the truth.
Miss Andrews?
This one thing, it's the one thing I wanted to take with me to the grave. It was my secret, mine and mine alone. I'm sorry. You probably think I'm a worthless human being right now, don't you? Please, Miss Andrews, all I want to know is the truth. After Celeste passed away, I heard that someone had hidden her suicide note. And that someone was Juan Corda. Celeste. Without her, I became scared. Everyone seemed like they were out to get me. So you got close to Mr. Corda to recover her suicide note, correct? Looks like that tabloid reported the truth after all. Ironic, isn't it? Well, like they say, where there's smoke, there's fire. And if they purposely add fuel to the fire, they keep the celebrity world burning. But as for the suicide note, I didn't and wouldn't kill anyone for it. It just doesn't suit me, that's all. Well, that's enough for now. I still have work to do, so. I understand. Oh, I have one small favor to ask. My attempted suicide. I'd like for you to keep it a secret.
Miss Andrews?
If people found out about my weakness, I would sooner choose to die than live. All right, I understand. We'll keep it a secret. Miss Andrews, I guess she's the overthinking type. She probably never says anything without carefully thinking it through first. Thank you for your discretion.
Mr. Nick, can I ask you something?
What is it?
Miss Andrews has been playing with that card in her hand since a little while back.
That card? Yeah, I guess she has. Miss Andrews, what is that card you're holding? Huh? Oh, this? I don't quite know, it just suddenly appeared in my handbag. What is it? It looks like a seashell? That's what it looks like, doesn't it? I honestly don't remember owning this card. I wonder where I picked it up from. Oh, haha, thank you for the follow. Thank you, Codex. You're not remembering something clearly. Sounds like it would be a rare occurrence. Hello, how are you? Well, I must be off. I leave Mr. On Guard in your capable hands. Oh dear. Well, as suspected, the knife is missing from this plate. I wonder if he'll pick it up. No, he won't. Alright, what am I to do now? I suppose I can just walk somewhere. Oh, there we go. Well, I think we've gathered about all we can.
What about Mystic Maya? Is she alright?
Oh, Pearls. She looks so worn out by all this. She hasn't slept at all, and she has been walking all over the place with me today.
What's wrong, Mr. Nick?
Let's go back to the office for a little while. You're really tired, right?
Oh no! I'm okay, really. I'm fine, I really am.
You don't look fine to me. Getting ready to go to bed? Oh, I'm good. I'm coming down from a food coma, so I feel like I want to get to bed myself. Who's Mr. Nick? Oh, Mr. Nick is basically Phoenix. Because his nickname is Nick. That's what his childhood friend called him, and then everyone else just picked it up, and so that's what Pearls calls him. No, it's not Phoenix Nick, right? It's because Nick's in Phoenix sounds like Nick. I'm not sure if I guess that was the closest they could get with the translation thing. Hey. I guess I just go back. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, yeah.
So, what now?
Well, we did find one thing out for sure. Miss Andrews has a motive.
You mean Miss Infax's suicide note?
That's right. She was also the one to discover the victim's body. Clever. Oh, is this the killer?
Oh, Mr. Nick, the transceiver.
Hello? Wright and Co. Law Offices. Mr. Attorney, you're not answering a phone. Maya, where's Maya? As I promised, I have not gone within a few feet of her this whole time.
Phew.
Which is why I suppose she is absolutely famished. What? So I suggest you win a quick acquittal, my friend. At any cost, wouldn't you agree? Wait, Maya, let me hear her. Very well. Ask my... Maya, is that you?
Sis.
Ask about my sis. Maya! Maya! Damn it, you cut me off.
Mystic Maya said ask my sis, didn't she?
Sis? What does she mean by that? Come on, Phoenix. You're a hopeless one. Sorry. There she is. Mia! I have a message from Maya, so come. Ask me anything you want about her. I still can't get over when Pearl channels Mia because it's so I hate it. It discombobulates my brain. So, Bayo, to explain to you, their specific family, when they channel a spirit, they take, like, their appearance merges with that of the spirit. And so basically that's why Pearl looks like an adult woman now. Because her appearance has merged with Mia's. And I hate it. Well, I don't like hate it, but like what I mean is like it it throws me off every time. Oh dear. Okay. Maya's situation. How's Maya? She's safe. For now. That kidnappers want to keep his word, it seems. I'm glad to hear she's safe. But Mia, how did you know? As soon as she was locked up, Maya called for me. I read the note she left. Then I gathered as much information about her surroundings as I could. I didn't know you could use spirit channeling like that. Pretty smart of her. The kidnapper, what's he like? I don't know. Apparently, Maya went to answer a phone call at the hotel and was drugged there. And? She didn't see the face of her attacker. Maya's locked up in a very dark place right now. I'll tell you everything I heard when I was with her. When you were with her? Alright, date, time, and location unknown. I'm starving. Could really go for some apple pie. Oh, me too, Maya. Apple pie's delicious. I love apple pie, but I am too lazy to bake one. I guess. No, there's probably like some simpler version I can make. Just apple and cinnamon is a chef's kiss combination for me. I love it. I mean, at a time like this, sweets are the only way to go. I have to stay positive.
He promised he wasn't going to kill me. I'm not going to die.
Have I ever baked a pie? I have. I think I've baked apple pie once, and then I've baked pumpkin pie a couple of times. Seems like too much work, Costco apple pie. You know what? True. The problem with that is anytime I buy pastries from Costco, I forget about them and then they just sit in the fridge. I like the Danishes. The Danishes are nice, the blueberry and lemons. But yeah, my family does that a lot where my sisters will pick out a bunch of pastries and then they'll just sit in the fridge because everyone forgets about them.
Sis, I wonder if you're with Nick right now.
Oh, okay. I am Maya right now. Is this note on the ground?
Huh? Someone dropped a card here. It kinda looks like a business card, but there's no name on it. It's a picture of a seashell, I think.
Oh my god, could it be the killer's card?
What a strange card.
Am I the eldest? Yes, I am. I am the eldest of 4, which seems to be a common number for my family, it seems. Yeah. Look at all this wine.
There's all sorts of things piled up here. It's too dark to see.
I wonder if she can tell any of this is alcohol.
What's this? Feels like there are a lot of glass bottles here.
I give off eldest sister vibes. Do I? I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. I don't know. It's just I was basically the second parent, and I guess that's why I give off those vibes.
And these, they feel like barrels. I'll pass.
Too bad I'm really hungry and not really thirsty. Could you imagine you get kidnapped and you just drink all their alcohol and have the time of your life? Sounds like a Netflix movie. Okay, what else can I guess I can look at the door and that's about it.
Trap, it's locked. This door's locked. Seems easy enough to open. On TV, the hero always uses a plastic card or a stiff piece of cardboard. Then, click, they magically open the door. Wonder if there's a card like that around here I could use. Oh, that's it! This shell card. If I use this, maybe I can get the door open. This might be my key out of here. I had a feeling this card might be useful. I'm such a genius.
Yes, you are, Maya. Sounds like a terrible way to escape. No, but it doesn't sound like a bad way to cope.
Alright, now if you'll excuse me, Mr. Kidnapper.
Did it actually work?
I did it! Okay, now I'm getting the heck out of here.
I'm trying to think about how that works, and I guess how it is when you slide the card in, I guess it like pushes the little like the locking mechanism back and then that lets you open the door. Have I ever fantasized about how I was going to escape if you were kidnapped? If I was kidnapped? You know, I used to have a lot of fears about getting kidnapped, but I never thought about how I would actually escape if I was kidnapped. So I'm gonna have to go with no. Honestly, I don't even know if I would be mentally capable of escaping if I was kidnapped. I feel like I would curl up into a ball and probably cry. Or do something stupid and then die really quick.
I shouldn't keep Nick waiting. Or worried.
She's gonna go out and the guy's gonna be there, isn't he? Oh no, to be continued. Save my progress, yes please. But yeah, I do have a lot of, I guess not like fantasies, but like I did have a lot of scenarios about how I could have been kidnapped. Literally just me as a child walking the street and being like,
Someone could appear from that bush right now and take me.
which is not a very fun thought to have as a kid, I'll be honest. I don't even know why I was so paranoid. It got better though as I got older, like I didn't worry about it as much. Oh my god, this man, I buried him into the depths of my memories because I dislike him so much. What was his voice again? I gave him like a, Adrian did it. That's what it looks like. Dude, no way, that woman can do anything like that. In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you. A mountain of evidence? I'm certain there's someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you. Please, Mr. Lawyer. Dude, like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze. Alright. I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that. I hate this man so much. I understand. Oh man, whose voice is this? Is this Francisca? Well, it's almost time. Oh no, it's Mia. Never mind. Mia, you must get a complete acquittal today. I know, but I can't focus on Maya's situation right now. Or Pearl's either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day. Indeed. Well, let's get going. Uh-oh. It's him. This is Wright. Good morning. This is it, Mr. Attorney. The day of the trial. Maya, she's unharmed, right? Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a little bit, how shall we say, tired. Don't worry, people don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial. For my sake as well as yours, you must win today's trial. Which is why I sent you a little present this morning. Present? What in the world would you want to give me? You'll figure it out once the trial starts. And even if you don't like my gift, I expect you to graciously accept it and win the day's contest if you please. Wait! The kidnapper sent me a present. Mr. Lawyer dude, who was that? Your mom. No one. It has nothing to do with you, so forget you heard anything. Dude, did your nose just get longer? Oh, where's Francisca? She's not here. Court is now in session for the trial of Matt on guard. Other prosecution and defense ready. The defense is ready, Your Honor. And Francisca is nowhere to be seen. I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Miss Von Karma? I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me? Your Honor. Please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it? Prosecutor Von Karma has. This morning, Miss Von Karma was shot by an unknown gunman. Zutala? What? Shot? Oh dear. Somehow. Oh! Do you like my present? I think this is the present that man was talking about. His present. Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she were to disappear, it would be to your advantage. This is totally insane. Miss Von Karma, is she all right? I don't have that answer. I'm assuming this is Edgeworth. I'm guessing. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna use his voice. She's alive and in stable condition. That's good. Oh. You're... I thought he'd show up. Hell yeah! It's Edgy Boy. Your Honor, due to the circumstances, Miss Francisca Von Karma cannot appear in court today. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place. The prosecution is ready, naturally. I love these two. I need to write more for them. Miss Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Luckily, I've looked this case over and am familiar with the details. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Maton God. The court acknowledges the prosecution. Right. I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. Did you finally realize that you love him? They're gonna cockblock me on this though, aren't they? By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer. Please just kiss. Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Oh my god, it's Lotta, isn't it? Oh no, it's Gumshoe, okay. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. Hi Gold, how are you doing? Witness your name and occupation. My name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down in the precinct. For now. This poor man. For now. After this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir. Detective Gumshoe? The prosecution has no need for a depressed witness. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Now, let's have your testimony. We want to explore the various facets of this case. We must start with that. Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight. Yeah, it would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. The answer he was struggling for. Interesting. Show me this answer you finally found, Edgeworth. You're just wondering, would the judge delay the trial if the prosecution was shot, or would the defendant right through a speedy trial win? I don't know about in real life. I think in real life it would probably have to be delayed, right? Because yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they could just... Because first of all, you would need someone who knows the case to like fill in for that prosecutor. So I guess it depends, but like I think I could see it going either way. I could see a trial being delayed, or I could also see it just continuing on. Because I don't know how it is in like the real world, but in this game, trials are only supposed to be like 3 days most or something like that. This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes Award ceremony, sir. The victim, Juan Cordo, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room. Yes, sir. Both the victim and the defendant went alone to their rooms, sir. I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Okay, I should be able to press him on everything. Let me just save real quick so I don't have to go too far back. Alrighty. Let's press him on everything. Would you please give us a brief timeline of what happened after the ceremony? Okay, pal. Ceremony started at 6 p.m. Ended around 8 p.m. and then there was a short break. A special post-ceremony show was supposed to start in the lobby 30 minutes later. And that's when the victim's body was found, correct? Which is to say, the murder occurred during that 30-minute break period. Please continue with your testimony, detective. Okay. Victim was found dead in his hotel room. In your state, trials have to begin within 60 days of arrangement or will be dismissed. Yeah, I think I took one course in high school for law, which of course was like based on Canada because that's where I was. But yeah, most of that legal stuff and all that gone from my brain. It has flown away, never to be remembered again. The person who discovered the victim's body was Adrian Andrews, correct? Yeah. Who is this Adrian Andrews you're talking about? She's the defendant man-on-guard's manager. She's a really pretty lady, sir. I like how he just says that so openly in court. Ah, so she's a pretty lady. I wonder if she will grace us with her presence. She probably will at some point. When the post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to get Mr. On Guard. After visiting his room, she next went to the victim's room to get him for the show, sir. I see. That's when she found the victim's body. Okay, after looking, we believe he was definitely murdered. The cause of death. Wasn't that because Mr. Corda was stabbed in the chest? Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal. Take a good hard look at that crime photo. Now a real pro's attention would be drawn here to this bandana. Banana. This judge is my one brain cell. Yes. His bandana, sir. That's the thing wrapped tightly around his neck, sir. Ah, yes, I see. His banana-scented bandana. The more I play, the more I have reasons of why is this man a judge? Then, what about the knife? It seems to have been stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death. So that's not what killed him? We have a crafty murderer on our hands here. Oh, okay, so he was strangled and then he was stabbed after he died. Okay. Well, that just seems like a bit extra, doesn't it? Like someone had like a grudge, perhaps? Banana-scented bandana. Judges are elected here. Yeah, I wonder what's the backstory of like how this judge came to be. Maybe they elect judges here too, but like it's so funny. Like the things he does sometimes, it's just so questionable. Okay, at first they thought something was suspicious about the guitar case. And why did you think that? Because it was empty, pal. I can't get over this promo image, it's just so funny. The Jammin' Ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar, and we couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime. Oh, then how about this theory? A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that? Thought of that too, but... But? The only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims. Only the victims, huh? I see. So much for my theory then. Okay. There's some water, but only on top of the lid. It only... I mean, couldn't have someone have cleaned their fingerprints off? Like, hence the water? I don't know. Okay, however, they later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do, and pourquoi? Why? What convinced you it had nothing to do with the case? The guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night. Which is very strange when you think about it, like his character is known for that guitar. Well then, where was it? The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, Juan Corda, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir. So you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside the case? Yes, sir. Even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar.
When people clean for fingerprints, they tend to remove everything. If they were wearing gloves, other fingerprints will be smudged. Oh. Oh, that makes sense. If they were to remove their fingerprints, then they most likely would have removed everything, and then therefore Juan's fingerprints wouldn't have been on there. Okay. So I'm guessing that's probably... I think there was like a shattered vase or something. Maybe that's where the water's from then. So that guitar case was empty, even before he got to the hotel. Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case after all. I believe that is enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana. Damn. Ooh, what a way to go. Like, that makes me like shrink up my neck when I think about it. Like, could you imagine like someone choking you with an accessory you wear? Like a necklace you wear, and like someone just tugs on that and then you just choke to death. And then after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Matt on guard? Because there was reason enough to suspect him. Here it comes. Looks like Edgeworth's back in full swing. Very well. Detective Gumshoe, please testify about this matter. Yes, sir. Does that mean I will never wear a scarf again? No, I'm still gonna wear a scarf. I am cold. It is like, what is it? It's April. Well, we're near the end of April, and it's still cold enough here for me to wear a scarf. I had a thing for scarves. I want to make my own one day. That would be cool. Oh my god. Off tangent, but I saw these scarves people make. Like they knit or crochet and it's a scarf, but then like at the two ends it's like an animal. So like the ones I've seen are a possum and a raccoon. And I think it would be really cool to make one of those. And so that's on my to-do list. Don't know when that's gonna happen, but that is on my to-do list. Crochet myself a raccoon scarf. You want a Slytherin scarf? Would you ever make one, or would you just go and buy one? Alright. Met on guard and Juan Cordo were huge rivals with each other. They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book. As for evidence, there's the Jammin' Ninja's button. It was ripped off the ninja costume. It was found in Mr. Onguard's Hakama. Mom refused to teach you. She said it was a lady's skill. You think you would buy one? I mean, if you're ever interested in learning, I think you should do it. I don't know about knitting because I've never done it. I've only done crochet, and so far I'm enjoying it. I don't think I would ever make like full apparel like sweaters and stuff, but like maybe a scarf or a hat. Otherwise, I have been sticking to like the little dolls that people make. But yeah, I think if you ever want to learn, you should just do it. I mean, what's the harm in that? As you said, there's YouTube. There's probably plenty of YouTube videos on how to make a Slytherin scarf now that I think about it. Alright. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. The defendant bought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder. Oh, okay, that's where I got him. It's not premeditated, because that knife is from their dinner plates. Oh, speaking of Slytherin scarf, that reminds me. I saw I follow many people who crochet on Instagram, but I don't remember the names, but there was someone who made they made little crochet dolls for each of the houses,
in the Harry Potter universe. I can't remember if they've done all of them, but I do remember, I think Ravenclaw was the only one I didn't see. I think they're probably working on that. I don't know. But yeah, they made one where it was like a little snake with a scarf, and there was one with the badger, and oh, they're so cute. I want to make them. So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing. Was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly, sir. Well, how convenient. They had T-bone steak for dinner, and that's probably pretty sticky. Gatewater's engraved. I don't see any other point. I guess I think I can just straight up present the knife or like the dinner. And there's this button. That was found in the defendant's clothes, was it? And is this button also covered in blood? Yes, and we know that the blood on it is the victim's blood, sir. What? I mean, it was from his costume, I would assume so. All of this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it? Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, right? Is it just me that keeps seeing the romantic tension? I love it so much. I'll find the hole in your argument somehow. You can press as hard as you'd like. Just hurry up with your useless, pointless questions. I love those two. You used to have a crochet rabbit in your back seat, buckled up in the middle seat as a reminder to your passengers to buckle up. Oh, that sounds like a great idea. Okay. Maybe it's because of like the amount of people in my family, but like us in the back seat, we did not buckle up. Why? I'll tell you why. Because there were more people than seats, and that's why we never buckled up. Was it safe? No. Did we do it anyway? Yeah, because we had to fit everyone into one car. And I guess maybe that is partially the reason why my parents stopped having more children. What happened to your rabbit? Is it no longer there? You've been in a trunk before. For fun? And in the footwell. I don't know where the footwell is. I'm not very good with car parts. Is that the front where you, like, in the front seats where you put your feet? Is that where the footwell is? Ah, where you have your foot in the backseat. Damn. So instead of everyone squishing together in the backseat, you guys just sit everywhere else. I can't imagine that's very comfortable. I don't know about the trunk. Maybe that is like... no, even then, I don't know. I feel like maybe the trunk would be okay depending on the car. I could see it being somewhat okay. I mean, my dogs lie there, so it must be fine. Alright. The trunk, because there were more than 10 people in the van. Damn, okay. Because normally vans can hold like what? Let me think. Like 2, 4... like 7 people, right? Oh, 8? Okay. Yeah, normally it's like 7 or 8 in a van. Man, I remember when my family had vans. I think, yeah. Yeah, we used to have vans and then they swapped them out for smaller cars. I almost got a van myself, but then I didn't. And thank God for that, because I don't think I could have handled driving such a big car. The only reason I considered getting a van was because I just wanted a car with enough space to fit my dogs, and because they're very big, that's like I ended up getting an SUV. But yeah. Oof. Yeah, me driving a van? No thank you. The rabbit's in the car, you unbuckled it? You wonder if it would trigger the airbags on the accent. I don't know how airbags work. Do they still trigger if nothing is in there? If they don't, I'm assuming it's like a weight thing. Like there has to be something heavy enough to trigger. I don't know. I don't know how cars and airbags work. They don't? Oh, okay. So maybe it's a weight thing? I know at least for like the driver and passenger seats, it's probably a weight thing. Because sometimes when I put my bag in the passenger seat, my car will scream at me to buckle up the passenger seat. Ah, okay, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Fronts have a weight sensor, not sure about the back. Probably not the back. I don't think like the back is equipped with any airbags, are they? Guess it depends on the car, but I haven't really heard of that. Also, I will be back in like 2 minutes. The soup, it needs to come out. I need to pee. Okay, hopefully I don't have to pee again. Backside airbags. Oh, that makes sense. Is this all cars or vans? Alright, back to the game. But in terms of popularity, Mr. On Guard won, did he not? You have a sedan. Yeah, but you know what's ironic, pal? Concorda was always one step behind Mr. On Guard in everything. This year it seemed like you'd finally caught up, ready for the big final showdown. But Mr. Corridor lost the Grand Prix in the end. That is too bad. He must have been pretty downhearted after losing. Oh, Edgeworth is just silent. Okay, and then I press this. Wait, just 1 second here. Mr. On Guard was beating Mr. Corda in the popularity polls. Well, yeah, I guess, but... Which means that in the defendant's eyes, the victim was not a rival at all. Which means he had no motive to kill at all. Yes, I quite agree. Well, Detective... it's not, well... I guess if you put it that way, then yeah, the defendant would have had no motive. Detective, I'm beginning to see why you were fired. Oof. Eh? No, not you too, Mr. Edgeworth, sir, that's... I look forward to your pension negotiations. No! Anytime someone screams like that, I think of the little slide whistle sound, the no! Now, Detective, let's continue with the testimony. No, not my poor pension, too. Detective, if you value your money, I suggest you proceed. Yes, sir. We can talk about my pension later, sir. What about what I was saying? Hello? Anyone? I don't know how this man isn't broke yet. I feel so bad for him. Do you have any proof that the button belonged to the victim? Huh? Well, what do you mean, pal? Oh, let me put it this way. I'm asking you if you have any evidence to back up your claim that this button was ripped off of the Jammin' Ninja's costume. Huh? But can't you tell by just looking at it? And the victim's blood is on it. Anyone could have smeared that blood on there afterward. Mr. Edgeworth, help me, sir. All right, I knew it had to be this piece of evidence. Now to reel this one in. Thread. Huh? The button was attached to the costume by thread, obviously. You thought the button was an egg? Maybe you're just like the judge. Bandana, banana, and egg button. And that thread snapped when the button was torn off. That would have been funny if it was an egg, though. Like this man was walking around with like eggs on his chest. If you match up the ends of the thread on the costume with the thread on the button, it's a perfect match. Yeah, that's it. They're a perfect match, pal. That's Edgeworth for you. Never misses a beat. Okay, it was ripped off. When was this button found? Pretty soon after the body was found. We rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Corda. Then we did a search on them all. That's when we found the button. So it was almost immediately after the murder. The police didn't have the free time to lollygag and play tricks unlike some people. Hey, what is he trying to say about me here? Okay, the defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. How were the fingerprints arranged on the knife? Huh? What do you mean, pal? By examining the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife. For example, did he hold it normally or overhand? Oh, is that what you meant? Well, we didn't actually think of that. I can't believe the bumbling of this department. Hopeless. Were you paying attention to the testimony, Wright? The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. There's no way to determine how the knife was held at the moment of the murder. So was the defendant the owner of this knife, then? Okay, the defendant bought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder. I'm gonna save here. I'm assuming I'm supposed to bring up the meal. Let's see, where is it? Nope, not that. Is it not here? Glossy photo. Oh. Crime photo? No. Okay, well, let's just press this then. There's no way this was a premeditated murder, even if he bought the knife. Am I supposed to just present the knife on that statement because it says Gatewater? Sorry, pal, this isn't some pocket knife. It doesn't fold, so it's not great for walking around with either. Ugh, well, this is not good. The prosecution can prove it was a premeditated murder. We're done for. Phoenix. Yes. There's something very interesting about what the detective said just now. Think carefully before it's too late. A button covered in the victim's blood, and a knife with Onguard's fingerprints. Be grateful. If the judge were more rash, he would have already pounded his gavel in closing. I guess that's one plus side for having a stupid judge. He doesn't deliver a verdict right away. Premeditated murder is hard to prove. Yeah, because you have to prove, what was it, means and intention? Well, no, that's with all murders. But yeah, you have to somehow prove it. Premeditated murder is what they call first degree murder, right? Or they're very similar to each other. I don't know. I just know there's different degrees of murder. I think premeditated falls under first degree. The prosecution would box themselves in. Yeah, okay, yeah, it is also called first degree. You know, to think I wanted to possibly be a lawyer, and then I learn about actual law, and then it's like, no, I can't do it. We're still in a world of trouble. Well, before any battle, you must find your enemy's weakness. So let's find the weakness in this testimony, no matter how small it may be. Okay, Phoenix? Okay, I'm pretty sure it's that, he bought that knife. You did some time in law school. So much paperwork, nothing like the TV shows. Yeah, I can only imagine. It must be like a lot of paperwork. And like probably a lot of planning and all that. That and like I am also not good at public speaking, so there's also that aspect. Okay, I'm gonna go present the knife because I believe that's what I'm supposed to present. Because he can't have bought it if it's owned by the hotel. Yes? Is this working? Wait a second. What? So the basis of your argument that this was a premeditated murder is simply that. My client bought a knife beforehand. That's right, Pale, the defendant did not buy this knife. Huh? You would disagree? Yeah, I mean, it's not hard to be confident when people can't actually see you and I don't have to see you. Like, if I were to stand in front of a crowd, I could not. Like, I would be sweating, I would be shaking, I would be it would be terrible. My anxiety would be terrible. But this in front of a computer where people just see an anime girl and then I don't have to actually see people. It's not too bad. It's not hard to be confident, or at least fake enough confidence to pull it off. Cause, oh my lord, that was like the #1 thing I hated in school, public speaking, like presentations, speeches. I did not like any of that. Like I only did it to pass and then, yeah. It's just practice. Yeah, it probably is. It's just, it was never a skill I wanted to develop. It's just, I didn't like presenting in front of people, and then I just didn't want to improve on it because of that. It's like band performance after your 8th concert. It's like whatever. Yeah, that's true. I remember first year of band, it was terrible. Like having concerts, like it's not as bad because you're in an ensemble and like I don't know how it is for other schools, but for mine's it was like everyone had the same attire. There wasn't a strict uniform, but it was like a dress code. So like everyone practically looked the same. So you didn't stand out, you know, you were just one of like the 30 people on stage. But even then it was like, oof. Yeah, for me it was all black. That was the dress code, all black. I think the first years though had something different. I think they had to have white shirts, but otherwise it was all black. And then yeah, as the years progressed, doing concerts wasn't so bad. But the thing was, because of what I played, I was like at the end of one of the rows, so I was like fairly visible from the stage. But you know what? I can say my greatest band accomplishment was finally doing a solo in my last year. Granted, I did not stand up, so nobody knew I was doing a solo, but that's okay. That was enough for me. I actually improvised something, and then I didn't die in the process. And I actually finished on time, so you know what? That was enough for me. But one day I will have enough money to buy a saxophone and then get back into it. Live improvising? Yeah, it wasn't... Yeah, live improvising takes a lot of practice to do properly. Normally it's like, what, like, depending on the song, it's like based on some scales and then you just play notes from that scale. But it was always something I found very difficult. Did you ever do any solos in your band career? Saxophones are so cheap now. There's a specific one I want, and that one is pretty expensive. Oh, honestly, I would not trust buying a saxophone on Amazon. No, I would prefer to buy one from an actual music store. Because I don't know. It feels so weird to like, especially if it's something I want to like get back into properly. Like if I want to actually like get back into the saxophone and like sound decent, I would not want to buy one off of Amazon. Just because it's like something I would be using for like practically almost the rest of my life if I could maintain it well enough. Use student saxophones for years. Yeah. I think the one I'm looking at is like intermediate. But that's only because the difference between the student and intermediate prices at the music store were like close enough where it was like, I might as well just go for this pretty one that I really want. But yeah, I think the one I want is, last time I checked, because it's been a while, but last time I checked, the one I wanted was $8,000, $8,000, and then you have to factor in tax and all that, and then like the other parts, because you have to buy reeds and you have to buy mouthpieces and like neck straps, and then that probably brings it up to around 9,000. And yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get it for a while. Maybe in a few years. But that's also mainly because I played the Barry sax, which is a lot bigger than an alto. Because I think you could probably get an alto for a decent price, but like Barry saxes, they're pretty big, and that's why they're expensive. It's like if you were to go buy a tuba. Tubas are also pretty expensive from what I remember. Where were we here? Take a good look at the handle of this knife and you'll see what I'm talking about. Huh? It has Gatewater seals set into the handle. Gatewater? I think I've heard that name somewhere before. That's the name of the hotel. The Gatewater Hotel. Uh-oh. Gumshoe. The murder knife was actually property of the hotel. Which means this murder was not premeditated. Yes, that is very true. This is a very big... What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless. What? I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined. How so? I admit this knife is hotel property. There's no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough not to realize this. But I didn't know. Oh. Oh, he needs a hug. The question is, where did this knife come from? Well, why, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Corda's room. Sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect. The victim ate a last meal before he was murdered, with that being the case. I would like to draw the court's attention to what is on top of the table. There is a knife and a fork on the table. Then, where in the world did this knife come from? If it pleases the court, I would like for us to recall the room of the defendant and Mr. Matt on guard. especially what was on top of his table. There is something missing, perhaps. It is a single knife. We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Matongard's knife was missing. Mr. Ongard has gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course. And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was a premeditated murder. Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliantly clear deduction. Seems like Edgeworth had this planned from the very beginning. This must be one of those traps, and I just walked headlong into it. A murder weapon with fingerprints, and a button from the victim's costume. There is quite a sizable amount of evidence here. I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of your Honor's time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court. Evidence not yet shown? Means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence. What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright? Well, Phoenix, the judge is favoring the prosecution right now. We answered with something wrong here. That gavel of his will be ringing out to the sound of our defeat. Mr. Wright, you have something important and necessary to present to this court. I mean, I have to say yes, because otherwise it's just game over, I'm pretty sure. But just to be safe. We will go with yes. I don't know. What do we present, though? Something that the court hasn't seen yet. Not the camera. The wine glass? Like, I guess? Like, that's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, okay, well, the wine glass is the only thing I have. Alright. There's one piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something that this court has yet to see. Mr. Wright, I will say this one more time. I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all. However, I am giving you one chance, and only one. What the judge is saying, Wright, is don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here. If I mess this up, it's curtains for all of us. We now present one and only one piece of evidence. Oh no, I'm tiny. Hold on. Okay, zoom, zoom, zoom. This is what happens when I accidentally leave my window open. I have to... Okay, there we go. I'll close it, and then that shouldn't happen again. Now then, what is this important evidence that you must show to the court? Well, all I have is... Oh my god, my entire health bar will drain if I get this wrong. Well, I only have the wine glass, so let's go with that. This is a wine glass, is it not? Please look at the photo of the crime scene one more time. Yeah, there's that smashed vase. The scene is a mess because of the victim's struggle against his assailant. The vase was broken. His makeup is all over the floor. These were all things that were at one point sitting on top of the dresser. Well, yes, I see your point. However, this glass that is sitting on top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen over along with everything else is this wine glass. This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration. Well, what do you all have to say? Ah, well, yes, it is a little peculiar.
Yes, isn't it? I thought it was.
You can't stop looking. You can stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours now. Mr. Edgeworth.
What is it, Your Honor?
Your opinion.
You don't need my opinion, because there is no special meaning to that glass. What? It's safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime took place. By the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. She could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking.
That does sound very plausible, Mr. Wright.
Could Miss Andrews really have set that glass down without thinking?
I don't think so, right?
If I appear weak here, the trial is over. I can look for my proof later. For now, I should trust my instinct and point with certainty. I might just fall for it if you're thought-provoking enough. The defense would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table.
You've turned the situation on its head yet again, as usual. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim?
There's no way he has any. He's just bluffing. Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have the evidence to support it. What? You're not thinking hard enough today, Wright. Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice? Then... Of course it had been thoroughly inspected for fingerprints. Fingerprints? There were only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass.
Only one? Well, whose were they?
They were not the victims nor the defendants. Rather, they were one Adrian Andrews. What?
Alright, wine glass updated.
That is why I said that the person who had discovered the body had left it there. Are we done here, Mr. Wright? Oh, I can't believe I fell into another trap. Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Corda. But upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser.
What you just said makes a lot of sense.
Now do you see, Mr. Wright? You can't change any part of my scenario as it explains everything all too well. I've thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. And from here on out, I will show you the answer I've come to discover.
Whoa, wait a second. Mr. Edgeworth. I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict.
Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. The prosecution has yet another witness we would like the court to hear from. Then wouldn't the fingerprint have her fingerprint? The glass have her yeah, they said the glass has her fingerprints on it, and it's only her fingerprints. Another witness? Yes. Bailiff, please bring in the next witness. What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking? Oh my god, it's Wendy! Miss Old Bag. Wait, no, he should know who this is. He's so chill about it. I'm just like, I'm waiting for him to lose his cool. For anyone who didn't see the other cases, Old Bag she was all over Edgeworth, and he was not reciprocating those feelings. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Witness, your name and occupation.
I love making that noise.
Ha! Gotcha!
I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier.
Oh, Edgy Boy, has been, what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more happy to see me.
I saw the report with her testimony, but who knew that under that helmet? It was the Wicked Witch of the witness stand. I love that title. She deserves it. She does deserve it.
I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today I'm going to tell you anything and everything. Even things that don't have to do with that terrible crime.
Miss Witness, that terrible crime is all this court needs to know.
Shush! I'm talking to my dear Edgy Wedgy Boy right now. Don't interrupt us, Gramps.
Yes, madam. No, please, by all means, interrupt her, please. Anyway, witness, your testimony, please. I love this so much.
It's true what they say, that youth are hot-headed nowadays. Not that I mind at all, Edgy. Now then, what should I start with?
The witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Oldbag?
It was a great job being able to see my dearie Juan. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle.
You mean you were a fan of the victim?
Look, everyone is crazy over that on guard, saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me. I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him. I'm only interested in a real man. Juan Corda.
I mean, to be fair, Matt seems like one big man-child. But those two are the same age. Really?
Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night.
Very well, please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder.
Leave it to me, Edgey-poo.
I love her purely for the fact she makes Edgeworth lose his composure.
Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye on the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. It was on guard, Matt on guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room.
You have a feeling that I like endearing nicknames? I don't know about endearing, but like, yeah, I don't know. I just think it's funny that she makes him lose his shit. So Mr. On Guard came out from the victim's room.
See, it has to be him. He's the murderer.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Okay, after the ceremony, she went to pace. Miss Oldbag, what was your post on that night? If my name was Edgeworth, would I like being called Edgey-poo from my other? No, I think I would hate it. Like, I'm all for pet names, but like, on the spectrum of pet names, anything with poo at the end, I would not enjoy. Like Edgey-poo, no thank you. I think it's just, maybe it's because it's just, to me, it's too overly affectionate for me, from what I'm comfortable with. Yeah, I would not enjoy being called Edgey-poo. Would you? That's the teasing part of it? Maybe I'm just boring. Maybe I just like other forms of teasing.
The lobby, I was supposed to help set up the stage for that trifling show. But I refused to help. I'll have you know it was for that lead-headed samurai show. I even took out a few of the nails.
She's such a menace, I love her. Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on.
Besides, that manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me. So I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little.
And that's when you went to hang around the victim's store. Okay, there was something she was interested in finding out. It would be embarrassing. I mean, it would be embarrassing in public. Maybe it wouldn't be so embarrassing in private. But yeah, I think if my name was Edgeworth and someone called me Edgey-poo in public, I would cease to exist. I would just pass away. You would see my cells evaporate. It's like when your mom used to call you by your nickname in front of people. Oof, yeah. My family didn't do nicknames, but I can imagine that it must have been very embarrassing. Especially when it's something very specific to your name. Something you were interested in. And just what was that?
It's not some little thing I can just go around telling everyone you know.
You never let your cousins forget their nickname, Pig? I feel like there's an interesting story behind that.
It's top secret between me and Juan. And Edgey-poo, of course.
Mr. Edgeworth, what is this thing she was interested in? I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor. You know what? That's the thing with cousins, too. You're supposed to make fun of them. For me, at least. Someone has to be there to remind them about the terrible things. Gossip? But should it prove relevant, we can always have it appended to her testimony later. Looks like we shouldn't force it right now. And did the witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time? Although, to be honest, I don't see my cousins often anymore. Mostly because we don't hold family get-togethers often, and I just don't go out of my way to interact with them. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, since I was on the job, she made sure to keep an eye out all the time. Oh? Then would you tell us the number of people who went in and out of Mr. Corrida's room? At least once a year, Thanksgiving or New Year's. It's a couple of times a year. Maybe... Let me see. Probably around like 5, maybe more. I can't think off the top of my head the exact number of like times that we have like get-togethers to celebrate something. But probably around at least 5 times where like everybody is gathered in one place. And then I only ever show up for the food. And it's normally and I normally live at the location, so I just go hide in my room. Oh, thank you for the follow, Gamerland. You know what? I haven't thought of a name for what I want to call... Because people have names, right, for what they call their community. I need to think of a name. But welcome! Thank you. Old bag.
I have no idea. I wasn't born so I could count things for those who didn't pay attention in class.
Oh, wow. I would have hated to be in the same class as Old Bag. Oh my god.
That's why ever since I turned 20, I quit keeping track of how old I really am.
You know, that makes me wonder, how old is she really? Does it say in her... I don't... No, it doesn't say in her profile! Oh my god! You're on the second case in the original Ace Attorney game because you're using the DS emulator on your phone. She's 21? I don't believe she's 21. Ooh. Oh, wait. I hope I'm not spoiling anything for you then, since you're playing the second game in the... Wait. Is the trilogy the original game split into 3? Is that what it is? I don't know. I had a DS, but you know what? I didn't play many DS games, which is kind of sad. Oh, okay. It's all good. Bayo, you don't look your age. For me, I guess I also kind of fall into that category. I know for some people are... Because, like, I remember the one time, like, I was in class, and this was French class, and I don't remember what, but we were just doing, like, practice. And a classmate was, like, explaining that they got pulled over for driving because the officer thought they were 12. So that's always fun. You think Old Bag is at least 70 or 80? I don't know. If she's 70 or 80, she's very lively for her age. You know what? And good for her. I aspire to be this lively when I'm this old. But yeah, I'm not quite sure. I'm not good at gauging appearances. I'll look at the mirror and, like, I don't know. I guess I look old enough. One thing you've unlocked while playing Ace Attorney is having critical thinking. You know what? I'm playing the trilogy thing that they made. And this is what, the last case of the second game, and I'm still just as stupid as when I started playing the first game. Because instead of thinking, you examine every little thing. I try to do that, but then, like, I don't know, sometimes my head is empty. Oh my god, just keep calling everybody edgy boy. Is that what qualifies as being old? Could you imagine how terrifying that would be? Some random person on the street goes up to you and, like, calls you edgy boy, and then they just walk away and you just have to live with the fact that you've just had this random interaction. And then what do you do with that? The thing with edgy boy is that it doesn't make sense unless your name is like Edward or something, you know? Or like Ed. There's something with like E. Alright, yes, well, that would explain why your age was not included in the report. I mean, I'm sure her age is somewhere, she just doesn't want to look at it, because it has to be somewhere for legal reasons. In any case, the witness then saw someone, correct? It's cultural. Some places you get little brother, another you get called handsome. Yeah. I don't have any relevant experiences because I don't leave the house. But I don't know. Yeah, I guess, I mean, I look at least like I'm an adult, so that's good. Still have to show my ID for buying alcohol, but you know, I think they check normally everybody. Okay, so that's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of Juan's room. Who in the world was that?
I'm not allowed to say. This sort of information has to be carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny.
I find it so funny that, like, when she has the helmet on, you can, like, tell she's doing some heavy breathing. Which makes me think, like, what is she thinking when she has this helmet on? What is it that's making her breathe so heavily? It's like when, like, it's like back when quarantine, when, like, everyone had the masks and you didn't have to care about what facial expression you were making because the bottom half of your face was covered. Now that, like, masks aren't mandatory anymore here, like, I keep forgetting that people can see my face and the faces I make, so... Oops. Her phone is ringing? Maybe. Maybe she left the oven on?
The man that came out of Juan's room, it was. He was.
Yes, he was.
Ah! I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud.
Wendy. Wendy, you test me sometimes. Oh, what I wouldn't give to have Francisca's whip right about now. Yeah, you know what? The one time we miss her whip. I can't believe it. I honestly wonder how Old Bag would react to being whipped. Because I think it would be a very funny interaction. You still wear a mask? For me, I have stopped for the most part. Because, I don't know, everyone around here has pretty much stopped wearing them, so it feels a little pointless to still wear them when, like, the majority of the people have just stopped.
Well, I guess I can tell you since he was such a bad boy anyway.
She's so angry. I'm assuming this is the face she makes when she's heavy breathing in her helmet. Okay, so Matt was sneaking out of Juan's room. You saw my client. It's a great excuse to say you're sick and you don't want to get them sick. That's true. Maybe I should just consistently wear a mask so that I can just make as many faces as I want, and then people can't see.
Yes, see.
Really?
Annoying brat. When I say I saw someone, I saw that person.
Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve into this a bit further. Do any of these? I feel like... Which one of these options is important? I saved, right? Yes, I saved. Okay, the face... What the person's clothes. Let's ask about that because supposedly the button was found in the costume. Oh my god, is this where deja vu comes back? You saw the costume, but did you actually see the man? Well, I guess it doesn't matter. We'll probably have to ask about all of this anyway. Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail.
What a troublesome man you are, really, as if something like that matters.
But it does.
Now what was it? Oh yes, it was that thing.
What thing?
That gaudy thing he's always wearing, that racing jacket.
Oh! He has such a punchable face, like... he needs a little knock to the head. Ah, he was wearing that at the detention center too.
That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Men.
Pantaloons! Oh. It has been so long since I heard that word. I need to Google. What are pantaloons? They're pants, right? Are they not? What are... Pantaloon. You're lurking while doing the case? No problem. Pantaloon. No, not that. Wide breeches. Worn especially in England during the reign of Charles II. I mean, I guess in simple terms, it's just pants. It's such a fun word to say, though. Pantaloons. They... Oh! Oh, okay. They look like they would be used for sleepwear. I don't know. I guess there's many different pantaloons. There's probably many iterations over time. But yes, pantaloons. Pantaloons, pantaloons. Right. So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way? I don't know if this is important. I mean, it has to be, I guess, right? Well, the thing is, if he was wearing his jacket, then where did the button go, right? Of course it was important, Your Honor. Then perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important. Your least favorite part of this case is the April-May. Oh yeah, no, I've already done that, so it's alright. Unless someone watching this, well, even then. If anyone is watching this and they don't want to be spoiled for the previous cases, look away, avert your eyes. But yes, April-May, she is quite the character, and I died inside every time I had to voice one of her lines. She's very wanton. And yeah, my soul died a little bit every time she did her little ubu thing. Yeah, because she does that little thing, or like she poses and then her chest bounce, and it's all that, yeah. Alright. Then perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important. Don't you see it, Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket be appended to her testimony. I don't quite see where you're going with this, but alright. Witness, please.
Ah, well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must.
Cover up or something why the chest got a bounce. I mean, I think that's like a core part of her character. She's like this pink-haired pretty lady with like a big chest, and she's super pretty and she can't do any wrong. You know? It is really nice though to see her fall apart though, because like that is very, what is it? Cathartic. It's very cathartic to see her fall apart. Okay, he was wearing his flashy racing jacket. It's just for show. Okay, because there was that button, right? So like, present? What do I have to lose? Let's see. Miss Oldbag.
What? Don't say my name for no reason.
Do you know what this is?
Ah, it's button number 2 on Jammin' Ninja's costume.
I like how she knows the specific number. That's button number 2. I can tell by the slight scratches on the surface at a 90-degree angle. Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it in a single glance.
Give it here, give it here. If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this.
Wow, she really is a diehard fan to want a button covered in blood. But Phoenix, this button is covered in Juan Corrida's blood. The man she is obsessed over. Of course she wants his button because it's covered in his blood. Like, come on. You can't tell me people wouldn't pay good money for that. This button was discovered on Mr. On Guard's body during a full body search.
See? See? This button proves beyond a shadow of doubt it was that rascal on guard.
It was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai hakama pants.
See? See? And on guard is a nickel samurai. Witness? Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination. But just now, didn't you say that the defendant, Matt on guard, was wearing his usual racing jacket?
Ha, I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. If I wore the trendiest dress,
Oh my god, she's going on her tangents. I can't keep up with her tangents. She's ranting about CDs and dreams and I don't know. And she's insulting my clothes. And Edgeworth has better style than Phoenix. That's about all I got.
Now hold your tongue still there for a second. So what you saw in actuality was not Mr. On Guard, the man, but Mr. On Guard, the Nickel Samurai.
but when you think about it,
Oh my god, it's deja vu all over again.
they're really one and the same, or anyway.
Miss Oldbag, this is a very important point we're talking about.
Edgey-poo, do you think so too?
Well, it might be something worth considering. Just say it's important and agree with me for a change.
Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify.
Oh, all right, if you insist.
I should be the one sighing, not you. Oh, right, who I saw.
On guard, yes, now I remember. The Nickel Samurai, that's right, it was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know. So he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan.
I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume.
What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy thinking such rude things.
I cried inside at that line. But the possibility does exist.
Ah, youngins today, I told you there's no way it was anyone else.
How do you know that?
Because I said so, and what I say is the truth.
At least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago.
Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Okay, well, I just have to press on everything because I'm not quite sure what I can contradict here yet. Would you please get on with your testimony?
Watch your language, young man. What sort of tone is that to take with an elder? My youthfulness isn't what it used to be, so you should forgive me for everything.
Sorry, I just had a traumatic flashback. Oh no. Why is this so... Why does this correlate so much to real life? That line is so raw though. My youthfulness isn't what it used to be, so you should forgive me for everything. Like, oof.
If you keep on barking at me like that, I'll start singing at the top of my lungs.
What?
A striking figure by the sea, standing all alone is he. He's a Nickel Samurai.
I don't know what that was, don't ask me. She's actually singing. Someone help my poor ears. You would think if she was singing in that helmet, it would just echo. Like, how much of that singing can you really hear if that helmet is on her head? I like to imagine that she's just like... She's like deafening herself with her own singing because it must echo, right? It has to like bounce around that helmet.
Mr. Edgeworth, can you please do something about this racket?
Witness, I'll give you a piece of I'll give you a piece of gum later if you'll be good and stick to just the facts. What kind of bargain is that?
Okay, you promise, right?
Right, I'll be sending the bill for the chewing gum to your office at a later date. Why do I gotta pay for it? Remind me to send you a thank you note later too, Edgeworth, old chum. Okay, the Nickel Samurai was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago you said he was wearing his racing jacket, and now he's not.
Not too long ago. Then let me ask you this. When you were itty-bitty, what was your grand dream?
Oh, my throat did a thing. I don't know what that was. Huh?
What did you want to be when you grew up, whippersnapper?
My dream, huh? Oh my god, are we gonna have another flashback to, like, Edgeworth? Well, I, want it to be Judge Wagner, hero of the public's court. So what?
See? And look where you are now. You're not Judge Wagner, are you? Are you?
Why she gotta judge him so hard like this? Like, goddamn, stop it. It's bringing up flashbacks. Well,
what I said earlier. Who puts any weight into things like that? The now is everything. I can't be held responsible for the past.
Since when did court become theatrics over testimonies?
All that matters is that man was inside that costume. Isn't that enough?
Okay, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. And why would that be?
That way no one could see his face, of course.
But there's still no advantage for him that I can see. In fact, you would think the costume would make him stand out all the more.
You are such an annoying child, you know that. You disagree with everything I say.
Isn't that what you're always doing to me?
I got it. Maybe it was more troublesome for him to change in and out of his costume.
Okay, he had to go to the post-ceremony stage show. Was there anyone else scheduled to appear at the post-ceremony show?
Well, all the contestants were supposed to go on stage in a friendly gesture thing.
And that included the Jammin' Ninja.
Of course it included him. That's why when On Guard came out of dear Juan's room, I didn't give it a second thought.
I see.
Well, anyway.
Okay, he must have worn the costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. So let me ask you one last time. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. The person you saw, it really was the Nickel Samurai.
As showy as ever. Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning?
Can I throw in the towel yet? You don't need to think too hard on this one. Huh? There's a contradiction in her testimony and it's sitting in plain sight. The question is what that contradiction means for us. Well, I have to figure out what you're talking about first, but okay. Okay, so she has a contradiction. What do I have? Nickel Samurai is to confess something. Okay, there's this glossy photo. Okay, well, let's go over it. It was the Nickel Samurai she saw. It would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to the post-ceremony stage of the... So he must have worn that costume when he was stabbing. Okay, so I'm assuming the contradiction is with this last statement. Could it be? What do I have that would contradict her statements? Okay, what was the costume like again? Because at first I thought maybe it's because the costume need to have blood on it, but I don't know. So this is the costume. So I guess that's the Hakama. Stab. Got the knife. Bears the victim's blood and on guard's fingerprints in the gate waters engraved. Didn't that costume have gloves? It had gloves and it shouldn't have had fingerprints then. Right? Okay, I think it must be that. Please take a look at this.
Yeah, so it's a knife. Big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work.
No, that's not my intention at all.
That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct?
Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case?
You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it.
Is that what you're driving at? That is exactly what I am driving at.
What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving?
If Mr. On Guard was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on this knife right off. That's true. It would have smudged, would it not? I don't know.
Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he?
He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing. And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There's no way he would do something like that. However, there is one possibility. Then let's hear your possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off.
But the murder still did take place.
It's well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and the victim.
Yes, I have heard that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory?
Yeah, then it is not premeditated murder, but they're still pushing for murder. So let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with his theory? There has to be something wrong with it. Otherwise, this game would go nowhere. This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony. What are you babbling about? Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. On Guard was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. Charging document? Charging document? I don't think so. I guess... I mean, we know this knife came from his room, right? So that would have to mean he would have to take it with him. So it would have had to have intent. Oh. Criminal compliance states the charges they're accused of. In this game, there's no, like, document for that. But basically, Matt, this guy, he is accused of murdering Juan Corrida, this guy. he was basically found murdered in his dressing room, and then there's a whole bunch of evidence that pins the blame on him. Okay, so there has to be a knife. This knife. This was used by Mr. On Guard at dinner.
Yes, we did establish that.
Which means that if my client was in fact the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Corrida. I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from supposition 1. And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over it like bees on a hive. And why try to murder with a butter knife? The thing is, the autopsy report says that he was strangled to death by his bandana. Oh wait, never mind. No, I think from what I can tell, he was strangled to death and then the knife was stuck into him after. Because my assumption was that the knife didn't kill him. We obviously know that Matt didn't commit the murder, so to us, it's just another piece of evidence that was planted against him. Because I'm pretty sure someone just stuck the knife after because it had his fingerprints on it. Yeah, I think he was strangled, died from being strangled, and then the knife was just a little extra thing to add more evidence against Matt. Otherwise, I don't think that knife could have killed him. Oh wait, no, that's not the right photo. Is it this one? Yes. Because that knife doesn't look like it's too deep and it's like going into his chest. And I'm not good at anatomy, but I don't think that would have killed him. In real life, you would be able to tell that the knife was stabbed after death. It would hit a lung? Oh. Yeah, I don't know. My assumption was that it's because he was like stabbed so quickly after. I don't know. Because I don't think that little stab is enough to kill him. It doesn't look like it. I don't know. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us.
Oh, order! Order, I say, order in the court. Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing?
I mean, to frame Matt on guard, right? There's like no other... To hide the murder method? We already know what the murder method was. The man was strangled. It's to frame my client, Mr. On Guard, of course.
To frame?
Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one? But we just established that the witness saw the nickel samurai in costume. And if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. Witness?
Looks like I've made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Edgey-poo?
Witness, did you or did you not really see the nickel samurai?
Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but...
Are you saying you mixed up Mr. On Guard with the nickel samurai, his character on TV?
But I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Look, I was waiting around in front of their doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the nickel samurai, that's for sure.
She wasn't waiting for the nickel samurai. Is he stupid? Isn't she obviously waiting for Juan? The witness has a real credibility problem. She's always had that problem. Like even in the first case she witnessed at. All right then. Who are you waiting around for then?
That's top secret to anyone outside of security.
Yeah, okay.
I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Juan Corda. Am I correct, witness?
The way you think, you're a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness.
Okay, well, if it wasn't Juan, then she was definitely waiting for Adrian.
Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of?
So Old Bag was waiting around in front of the victim's room. But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Corda. Maybe Phoenix. Maybe the Old Bag was waiting around for that person. If it's who I think Mia's hinting at, it's certainly possible. Miss Old Bag, you were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? Okay, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Adrian, because of that tabloid. Adrian Andrews, present.
Who is this person?
This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. On Guard's manager.
But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room?
It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor.
Oh, this is... Well, this is... I see.
The judge seems to be really into the article, if it can be called such a thing.
Then this manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's...
Adrian Andrews, without a doubt, the witness thought so as well.
Looks like you found me out.
Have you seen a trial or been a juror in one? I was very close to being part of a jury. The problem is that the court date was in the middle of it was in the middle of exams. It was either in the middle of midterm or final season for me. And I did not want to because I would have had to miss school or potentially miss an exam, and I couldn't do that. I didn't want to do that. And so I applied to be exempt and it went through, and so I didn't have to go. And I'm assuming they just went and found someone else. But yeah, that is the only time I've ever been close to. Otherwise, I don't know what my odds are for being picked again for being a possible juror. Other than that, I'm assuming there's probably some trials you can just straight up go to and watch, but I don't know. I'm not motivated to do that. I think when I was taking that course in law, there was a possibility of actually going to watch a trial, but then I think that was around the time where the whole pandemic thing happened, and so that never happened. Normally that is just a postponement. For me, I don't know, for me it was I was just entirely exempt. There was no postponing or anything. Because I think what it was is I was selected to be selected from. Does that make sense? There wasn't they didn't make the jury yet, so I was selected as one of the people to go, and then they would select a jury then. And if I was picked, I would be part of the jury, and if not, I would just go back home. That's what I remember vaguely.
Right. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff then.
You're compelled to show up for a jury pool? I was able to... Because, yeah, I was able to be exempt from it. Because, there are certain conditions you have to meet to be able to be exempt from that. And for me, it was, the student one. I mean, there was a chance they could have just said no to me, but like, I shot my shot and they said yes, and so I didn't have to show up. But yeah, otherwise, if I didn't meet any of the conditions, I would have had to have gone.
Witness, what in the world are you?
Watch out, Phoenix. Got a bad feeling about this. Very bad feeling.
I got some
Oh, no, that is not the right voice.
I got some information. Some very secret information from a certain source.
Oh, it's Lada, isn't it?
So that's why I was doing my own little investigation. In secret, of course.
But what for?
Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here?
I really don't want to do this, however I cannot simply let this point slide.
I see. Very well then. Witness, please testify about this secret information.
Get ready. This is going to take the wind out of you youngins.
I'm sure we're all capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10 years old.
You went to see a trial in another country. Very interesting. Person was going to get a fine from the judge. Defendant stated that they couldn't afford to eat. Judge offered him 3 meals a day. Jail time in lieu of fine. It was declined. And the judge offered the fine and payments for a very low amount for a very long time. That's interesting. It's good though that like that was an option then. But yeah, wonder how long that time is. It makes me wonder though, would it be better to just go to jail? Or just pay off slowly? Because aren't there some people that like get themselves purposely put into jail so that they have like a place to stay and food to eat and all that? Because I know that's that happens sometimes. Also, prisons in some countries are very nice. They're very nice in some countries from what I've seen.
That on guard is one evil, evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and this is top secret, you got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay?
Nobody else but us in the entire courtroom. That used to be a thing here for healthcare. If you can't afford the healthcare you needed, if you're in jail, they have to take care of it at the expense of the state. Huh. Well, that's one way. But yes, it's very sad, though. To, like, have to take such measures. But I guess sometimes you just have to do what you need to do to get the things you need.
The defendant sent his manager. What a distasteful topic for this court.
Aw man, are we gonna have to bring up Celeste?
What? Nobody's above gossip. And isn't there a saying, the truth is never pleasant?
Never heard that one before.
Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person?
We have looked into this matter and found that the truth the article proposes is, in fact, a baseless gossip.
But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim.
So this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Be careful. The old bag seems rather excited right now.
That's right. On guard is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth.
Well, as the old saying goes, you've got to burn old bags with fire. I hope someone made like a little gif of Old Bag burning in flames. I think that would be funny. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. Okay, secret information. Well, time to just press everything. You can't say something like that without proof. That's just slander.
But it's true that woman was getting intimate with poor Juan. Look, it says so right here, doesn't it? Manager to the stars, Miss A.A.
But the name of the magazine this came from is Gossipland. Such a credible source.
What? Are you saying that gossip is all just a pack of lies?
Isn't that what the definition entails?
What do you know? I suppose next you'll swear to me that the news is 100% true.
Well, I mean, it's not, but...
Honestly, Sonny, you can't discriminate between the news and gossip.
Yes, discrimination is bad, Mr. Wright.
Discriminate? When did I do anything like that?
Anyway, On Guard will never get me to say touche.
He thought he could ruin poor Juan. A scandal? What do you mean by that?
You're a dim-witted one, aren't you? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. Honestly, what are they teaching kids in middle school these days?
No, I wasn't asking what the word scandal means. Even I know that much.
Well, that On Guard thought he could own a monopoly on popularity.
Okay, he sent his manager to get close with Juan. You don't have any proof that Mr. On Guard did such a thing.
You must be suffering from shock. The shock of hearing the truth. And now, since you're in so much shock, you can't do anything right.
You're right, I can't do anything. But boy, do I wish I could do something about you.
Alright then, Sonny, show me what you've got. Can you show me proof that On Guard didn't bear any ill will towards Juan?
Do I have anything? I don't think I do. Cause like I can prove that like Adrian is connected a different way, but I don't know if I can prove yet that like Matt doesn't bear any ill will. Okay, I don't think I have anything. I don't have anything to offer.
See? Just as I thought. And you were lecturing me about saying things without proof. You've just given me a free pass to say whatever I want whenever I want, silly boy.
My big mouth.
That's the way the cookie crumbles, for you anyway.
Okay, she can't condone such dirty tricks, so she took action. So what do you mean by I took action?
Like I already told you, I was lying in wait close to the crime scene. Once that slimy woman came out of Juan's room, I was going to capture her and teach her a good lesson, something you youngins need.
You were going to teach her a good lesson.
I was going to make her eat the damaging beams of my ray gun.
Your ray gun is plastic, woman.
Like this.
No, stop.
Well, it was too bad that woman didn't come through the door that night.
Okay, it's top secret. Nobody else knows but you and me yet. What did she say about this? Wait.
What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over.
Secret information that no one else knows yet. If that's true, then how do you know this secret information?
Huh? Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it.
Did she steal Lotta's camera? Lotta did say her camera went missing.
It's a secret. Even if you drilled a hole into my brain, you'll never find out.
How in the world did that old bat get such a secret piece of information? It has to be the camera, right? So no one else is supposed to know this secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know it, Miss Oldbag?
Why are you looking at me like that? Stop that.
Witness? I hate to say it, but this is how you came to acquire your secret info, isn't it? Yeah, it has to be her camera. Lotta said her camera was stolen. The investigative photographer, Lotta Hart.
Oh, yes, I remember that mischievous girl.
She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself.
She reported such a thing.
On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her outragio. Oh, that's a cutoff of outrageous. Impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews.
What? Outrageous ideas, you say?
No, I said impressions.
Then everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless.
Ah, that's it. That's the note.
No, you see, this is something completely different. This is my top secret list of groceries to buy.
Then you're the one who took Miss Hart's note.
I'm a huge fan of Juan's, that's why. That infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She's working with that evil on guard. She said so herself. On guard, I'm his sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she had written.
Just complete silence.
Edgey-poo, believe me, don't you? I was only trying to help out like the angel I am. It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before.
You really should come with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine. Hey, I like that pun. Hey. That's good. Whoever wrote that, I salute you.
Well, it was only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook this just this once.
She looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her? Does it matter which one I pick? I don't know, just for fun, let's put more pressure on her. If I let up on her now, she'll get away. I have to find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness, you said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is this correct?
Stole? Why don't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper from the terrible, lonely trash can, that's all.
You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it.
Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again?
Miss Oldbag, I don't believe that the note is the only thing you stole that night. Do I just show the camera again? Right? Because other than that, I'm not quite sure what else she took. Yeah, there's nothing else she could have taken but the camera, so I guess we just show it again. Miss Oldbag, that note was with the camera inside its case, wasn't it?
A camera?
Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, "My sweetie $1,600 camera disappeared on me."
Why, witness.
What is it, Gramps?
If you have the note, then it is only logical that you have the camera too.
Looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for?
Ah, that's...
What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know. I still eat meals like you. I fall in love and borrow things from people.
I think your definition of borrow is a little off.
I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it said, Slimebag Celebrity Photographer Extraordinaire. Well, when I saw that, I had to know what sort of picture she had taken. I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know these things.
Bailiff, check this camera's photos. Hurry. We must examine them at once. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have?
There is only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case.
Please present it to the court.
Oh.
This is the Nickel Samurai.
See, I told you, that's the guy I saw.
This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter. What does all this mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This photo by itself does not prove that the person is the defendant. However, in his own confession, Mr. Angard clearly stated that at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume.
If that is the case, then this Nickel Samurai is
the defendant. Oh dear.
How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright. The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client?
If this photo really is decisive, then we're done for. But if I raise an objection here and blow it, then I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. I can't make a mistake here. There's only one road out of this mess. And that is by saving, so that I can take the wrong one and come back to do the right one. Okay, what is wrong with this photo? There has to be something wrong with it, but I can't see. There's something strange. I have to figure out what's wrong with it, though. There's something strange with this photo. I knew this was coming, right?
Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth.
I think we can all agree there's nothing strange with this photo. Of course there's something wrong with it. Yeah, Gold, there has to be something wrong. Otherwise, we lose. There's no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with a bunker buster.
Debunk with a bunker buster? Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright?
Anyway, please, look at the photo one more time.
If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct?
Uh-ohs. Well, I have to find something wrong with this photo. I can't let this chance go by. Where in the heck did she take this photo from anyway? It's all out of focus. Why can't she take a good shot, especially when it counts?
Now then, let's hear your objection. What about this photo is strange?
Uh-oh. Should I have looked at the picture beforehand? What is it? Gloves are there, arm is there, the Hakama thing is there. Oh well. I mean, his weapon? I don't know. The only thing I can think of is like, because I distinctly remember his feet, because I thought it was really weird because it looked like he was only wearing socks. And I was like, what's up with that? Man has no shoes? Is that what it is? I don't know. Let's just, what? I saved. I'm fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. He's too short? Maybe. I would like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here.
What are you pointing to? His ankles?
If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't. You know what? On the thing of being too short, you know what? Do you think it's possible that someone wore like tall shoes to appear to be the right height?
And what does that mean?
The costumed person in this photo could not have been Mr. Angard.
What is the meaning of this?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, you're right. You're right, Bayo. That also means that the person wearing the costume is too short because the feet are supposed to show. I wonder if you would care to elaborate, with actual facts, that is. Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster. Please pay particular... Oh my god, I can't English. Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the hakama.
His socks. You can see his socks.
Exactly. However, in this photo, the Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his hakama up just to walk. There's only one explanation for this. The person inside this costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. Could it have been Adrian Andrews then? Right now, she's the only person I can think of because she's small and short, supposedly, so I don't know. Alright, I think I've turned things around for myself this time. That's curious. Huh? What is it? Edgeworth is unusually calm today. That's true. He's just letting the trial run itself, as if he's only along for the ride. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that? I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all. He doesn't feel under attack? Then I haven't damaged his case at all.
Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? If the person in this photo is not Matt on guard, then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless.
I figured it would come to this.
What?
Right, I have something I want to ask you. I think you have proven that the person inside this costume is not Matt on guard. In that case, who is this a photo of? Who is the person wearing the Nickel Samurai costume? Don't stress over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. What you should be focused on is Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think? Yeah, why is he so calm?
Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts. Who is the person in this photograph?
I mean, it can only be Adrian, right? Unless it's... No, it doesn't make sense if it was Juan. The only person I can think of... the only person I can think of is Adrian. There's no one else who could have been in that room but Adrian.
Adrian Andrews.
If you want to know who that Nickel Samurai is, it is none other than this woman. And why would you say it must be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her? Well, for starters, she's short, and she can freely move in and out of Mr. Enguarde's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Enguarde that night.
And how does that all add up?
It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. Enguarde's fingerprints all over it.
The knife that was used as a murder weapon.
Why don't you just say what it is you want, Wright? I have to do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. The defense moves to indict Miss Adrian Andrews in the murder of Juan Corda. It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime.
Order! 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 It looks like this trial has hit a most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, Your Honor.
This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony.
All right, this is it. This is kind of bad for us. Huh? What do you mean? If Adrian Andrews is summoned to court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day. One more day? Ah! If I don't get a verdict today, then Maya...
Now then, we shall set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow.
What am I supposed to do? The judge is about to join the court.
I mean, I have to raise an objection. I don't have any other, like... I don't know. Let's raise an objection. Now then.
Objection! Please, Your Honor, continue the trial. You must pass the verdict today.
I can't do that. We cannot hear Miss Andrews' testimony if she is not.
I abhor wasting such valuable time. Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial.
But we cannot continue due to this unexpected development.
Unexpected development? I think you underestimate me, Your Honor.
And what do you mean by that?
That Mr. Phoenix Wright should slave his way to subpoenaing Miss Adrian Andrews is all. Happening according to plan, even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on. What?
What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth?
Miss Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby. She is the next witness. Everything was planned out in advance by that man. Somehow I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. Looks like this battle is far from over. Exactly.
Very well. We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess. To be continued.
I think I will probably call it a night here. Mostly because I have to wake up early in the morning. So I will save and then we'll call it for a night here. The thing is, Miss Andrews doesn't have to say a word, at least here. What do you mean by that? That she doesn't have to say anything. Plead the fifth? Well, I don't know what that is in law, but that's just not how it works here in this game, I guess. Or maybe, maybe she wants to testify because it is her client that is, well, she's a manager, so what is he to her? I don't know, but like the person she's the manager for is being accused of murder, so I would assume she likes him enough to testify for him. You have the right to avoid self-incrimination when in custody. Who knows? Maybe that will come up. Honestly, at this point, I'm not quite sure who the murderer is. Because right now, the only person who could have killed Juan is Adrian. So, yes, I don't know. We will see. But anyways, today was fun. Next stream is Friday around the same time. And that's going to be on The Witcher, so we get to continue that. Love seeing more villagers in booty shorts. Always fun. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you everybody who stopped by and all the people that followed. And I will see you guys on Friday. I'm trying to scroll through my scenes. There we go. Where is it? I'm so blind. I need a smaller second monitor. My second monitor is a TV screen, and that is too big for me. But yeah, see you guys. Thank you for watching.